Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The baseball boys are back. Another Sunday morning of baseball talk. Your host, The Source, alongside me once again, Tim Quigs Quigley and Jonny Buckets, John Faber. Gentlemen, how's it going this morning?
I think we should be asking you that question.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too great today. Not really proud of the fact that it was cold and I was at the races last night, but I'll survive. Always do.
In any way, shape, or form, he finds a
Yeah.
way to live.
Yeah. It was a rough morning, I'll tell you that. I had to take a nice little hour power nap just before I came on here. So, are you gentlemen ready to get ready? Or are you ready to? Oh my God, I can't even
I
talk.
am
Are
ready
you?
to get ready.
Yeah. Are you guys
Let's
ready
keep
for
delaying
another?
this.
Yeah. Are you guys ready for another
Yeah,
good show? Hopefully.
let's
Go
do it.
for it.
Oh my God.
Take us
All right.
away. Take us away, fearless leader.
Well, here's what we're going to start with here this morning. Some key injuries that have occurred to start the season so far. And right here to pull up a little bit of the injury report that we got going on. And some names on there that are familiar being on there every single year, like Chris Sale. How many of these stand out to you, or what stands out to you the most? And what's a big surprise of guys that are missing some time right now?
I mean, if you want to go off of just sheer importance to the team, the first two that pop out are definitely going to be DeGrom and Tatis Jr. Uh, Last week, I'm pretty sure all of us were in consensus or just about that. If DeGrom's healthy, he's going to win NL Cy Young, and Tatis being MVP candidate last year. Those two right off the bat are, seriously detrimental to the team starting out this early.
Yeah, I agree with Tim. I mean, those obviously the two big ones right there. But the Mets have won both games without DeGrom so far, so that's something, I guess.
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer, I mean, he's not really injured. He's just on the
Leave.
naughty list, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
Who's to say when he comes back? I guess I don't know. That's
Well-
kind of fallen off the headlines, but that's a pretty interesting story, I guess.
yeah, well, that's why I put that on there. I know he's not really injured, but he's on the injury report. But he's still out with that personal issue, I guess you could say. But I don't think he was ever charged with anything. So last I saw, they were talking April 17th would be the next thing we hear from him regarding his leave, I guess, his personal leave from the league, or whether you want to call it a suspension or not. So I guess we'll find out from there. But we got
another big one there too. Glass now with the elbow basically out.
the whole year,
pretty much the year. He was Tommy John, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's done.
But two names that pop up on here the most, it seems like every year, we got Chris Sale and Steven Strasburg. I know our feelings are on Strasburg, being that he came through the Nationals ranks. We came through Harrisburg, and I don't think he's lived up to the expectations that was set for him because of these injuries.
I mean, he's a World Series MVP.
I mean,
he's finished Cy Young voting top 5 how many years in a row? Let me look that up just to back my claim, because I didn't think I'd be talking about Strasburg.
But how many years how many games has he missed over the years now, though, because of these injuries is the big thing. So
yeah, it feels like a lot.
Yeah, and even Chris Sale signed that big deal with the Red Sox, and I don't think he's actually played a full year for them. I could be wrong. Lance Lynn's another one. We were just talking about Lance Lynn the other week or the other day. That came out of nowhere. That knee injury that he had, suffered it during last week of spring training.
Yeah, that's a freak thing for him, and you can even throw Kent's on the list there too. Minnesota starting out 0-2 on the year already. I know we'll get into the standings and all of that, but even Kent's being out is pretty big for the Twins, who were looking to make a splash with all of the moves they made this offseason, and a win now, and you're starting 0-2.
Yeah, and this is not even all the injuries. I mean, I just did some of the key ones, but when you look at some of these, I'll just use, for example, our Phillies. Wheeler's been day-to-day with the shoulder at this point, and then Moniak getting hurt very last spring training game, expected to be our starting center fielder, and they're still winning without both of them. And I think Washington's struggling a little bit now. They don't have Carter Keyboom. He's out for a while. Strasburg not playing. They're 0-3 now. So
Yeah, but you kind of expect that out of Washington, though. They just don't really have much of an offense.
No, but
And I don't think I sent this one to you, Matt, but I sent it to John of, how many former Phillies are on the Washington Nationals. It seems that they're picking up the wrong guys. I mean, they've got Victor Arano. I saw they've got Michael Franco. I think even Cesar Hernandez might even be there now.
yeah,
I mean, they've got the wrong Phillies from the wrong era of recent Phillies history.
yeah.
Well, and they're wasting away Juan Soto's best years, honestly, right? To a certain
Yeah.
extent. I mean, that's part of the reason the Phillies brought in so many people is because Harper's in MVP form, obviously, like it was last year. And you can't just waste those years away.
Soto's still young though, and he's under team control. It's going to be a thing of what Aaron Judge is getting into now, where you got to start paying the man, and Judge just recently turned down like an 8-year extension worth 200, probably like 225, something like that.
I think it was 213. I think he wanted 230. The team offered 213.
Yeah, something like that. But it would have made him, rich.
Yeah. But in general, though, I mean, we'll get to the standings here in a little bit. But man, what a way to start the year, though, for some of these guys already on the injured list, and we're maybe 3 games into the season. So going to be a long year. This will be a true testament on how many teams have absolute depth in their major league rosters. I mean, we were looking at it a little bit. And when we get to the standings, we'll talk about that a little bit too, and who's really affected by this. But the depth is going to be the big thing this year, especially with the amount of money that was signed in free agency, like we talked about last week. So,
yeah, it's definitely there, and I mean, it's still early in the season, so anything can happen. I mean, we're 2-3 games in for most people, and we're sitting here reacting like, oh, DeGrom's out for his first start or 2 or 3 for the year, and the Mets are going to go downhill, and they're fine. I mean, outside of a little scuffle they had recently, but
yeah,
for the most part, they're fine.
Yeah, we'll get into those scuffles here in a little bit. We'll get these first 2 small little topics done. One's actually a pretty big topic, though. That's the next one up the bat, and that's going to be everybody's least favorite thing right now. Thank you, Astros. The pitch comm. For those that don't know what the pitch comm is, half the teams in the league are going to be using it. The catchers are wearing some sort of wristband. They're going to be pushing buttons. There's an earpiece to, I believe, the pitcher and another player on the field. And that's how they're calling the pitches to the pitcher. Makes absolutely 0 sense. But, hey, that's just my opinion.
I mean, it's just another thing that's going to get hacked and broken into halfway through the year anyway. If somebody's going to want to steal your sign, there's going to be a way to steal the sign.
Next step is robot pitchers at this point. It's like
they're calling for robots. So
yeah.
I mean, the whole thing with this, though, is like this is ruining the game of baseball, in my opinion. I mean, I understand technology nowadays is a big thing in sports, and I'm all for the times changing. And I'm actually going to emphasize this a little bit right now. I was going to do it later, but I posted, or I have a blog, or BWSPORTS1.com has a blog, and in my blog I talk about that a little bit. Why it's frustrating being a fan per se. Anyways, we're all traditionalists here. We all like the old school way of baseball. The National League doesn't have the DH. The ghost runner on second's a joke. We all hated the shift to begin with. I mean, it is what it is. But this whole thing of preventing teams from sign stealing, why don't we just get rid of the cameras that are in the outfield, or move the TV cameras so you can't see what the pitcher's what the catcher's calling?
I mean, we did just start up that Twitter page too. If you want to give us a follow, I believe is it just outside 3?
Yeah,
the number 3,
top left hand side, right
top
there.
corner. Give us the follow on Twitter. We've all been pretty active on it, and once this pitch bracelet vibration signal thingy was out there, for one of the first things I sent on there was it's just going to be a matter of time until somebody hacks this thing. Cheating's always been a part of the game when it comes to the spitball and corked bat. I mean, there's always been cheating in the game. Now there's steroids. Nothing wrong with a little extra added muscle, but and I can, for all the baseball I've been around with some former major leaguers and everything, if you're standing on second base, I mean, look at some of the guys that are on second base. They might do a signal with their hand, or they might touch their helmet in a certain way, or pick at a part of their jersey. If they're picking up on the signals, they're going to relay them. And I believe that's not that big of a deal. The big deal is having the HD camera pointing in from center field, looking right at the catcher's signs, relaying it to the dugout, and then you have a guy banging on a trash can.
Yeah.
I mean, there's clear lines you don't cross, and that's clearly one of them. But if you're standing on second base and you figured out the sign because your indicator is that simple to pick up, then that's on you.
Yeah.
That's just that you're just getting exploited. Same way with Glass now when he got torched by the Yankees a few years ago in the playoffs when he was coming set. I guess his elbow was out for curveball or in for fastball or vice versa. And, they picked up on it within the first 2 innings and shelled him.
Yeah. It's like a tell in poker, right? I mean, it's part of the game. Thing. It's strategy, right? Like it's something to be said for being able to pick up on cues like that, like using, your intellect versus like institutional cheating, like the Astros did, like the Patriots did. I mean, like
I knew that.
I'm never going to let that die because that is the single most egregious way to cheat in all of sports, right? If you can literally call what the other team is going to do, you cannot lose, right? I mean, in essence,
I mean, you still can. I mean, let's be honest here. If I'm saying everybody cheats and we only figured out, the Astros have done it and maybe the Red Sox, and I think the Yankees came under fire recently, but you don't see the Orioles getting caught cheating. And, if they're cheating and they're this bad, then I guess they just suck, period.
Orioles can't afford anybody worthwhile to cheat with anyway. So,
yeah.
But so Tim, your dad made a comment. I had it up. I pulled it up again. Tech does not always make things better. In a way, he's right, but with the way the game is changing now, like I think some of the technology is making it a little bit better. We got the ability to challenge now as managers, and then you can question now after the 8th inning if you already used your challenge. Like, hey, can you take a look at this? Something doesn't seem right with that call. I think that's making it a little bit more clear on some of these bang bang plays. So like example, what was it, Thursday? The Phillies used their challenge early in the game on a play that looked like that he was safe at first. And
second, I think, right?
No, it was.
I think it was one of those instant.
It was a bang bang double play.
Okay.
I forget who it was. Got thrown out at first. Might have been Castellanos too, but the replay showed clear as day. The ball beat the runner, and I think that helps a little bit. But it takes away the umpires. It takes the umpires out of the game a little bit, and I think I hate to bring this up, but if you remember a few years ago, the perfect game that was ruined by an umpire with
that was Jim Joyce, and the only reason you remember Jim Joyce's name is because that one call. Right. And you look at, I mean, it's not like we're talking about Angel Hernandez or not Joe Buck, but I hate Joe Buck too. Angel Hernandez or
Joe West.
Yes, Joe West, who I was thinking of, the Cowboy. A good umpire doesn't really have their name thrown around.
Right.
But to counterpoint what you were saying there, Trace, with the bang bang plays, yeah, 'cause, I mean, even the NFL has been doing it where you're going down to the smallest increment to see if a guy's inbounds or safe in this instance. But look at the walk-off win in Detroit on opening day where Baez, clear as day, hit it off the wall first, and then it went into the guy's glove, and the umpires called him out, and they challenged it. It literally determined the game right there.
Right. Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I wouldn't consider that necessarily tech, right? I mean, like, we've had that technology for 25 years to replay stuff like that. It's just like an evolution of the game in terms of like the rules, and I think it's better. I mean, I think replay is good in general, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily like a technology thing. This whole, pitch column or whatever it's going to call it, that is
but it's new technology to the game of baseball though, because we have the ability to see replays and stuff. That's nothing new, but the fact that like the new technology they put in to be able to review these calls, they never had that before.
Going back on my bad umpires in the comments, there's a great one too of Lance Diaz or Laz Diaz. Laz Diaz is pretty bad too.
Yeah, so your dad just said the same thing too about.
Yeah, I stole it there. I was trying to think of there's like 3 or 4 umpires you can always name that are going to blow calls, and Angel Hernandez always tops that list.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I kind of like some of the things that are happening. Like at least in the replay aspect, the pitch comm I think is terrible. What I see in the minor leagues are they've been trying like you mentioned it, a robot umpire behind home plate calling balls and strikes. I don't know if I like that or not.
Nah, once we get to that point, then it's not baseball anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of along the lines. I said we're traditionalists, but if we're talking about any tech that's good, I think the challenge and the replay tech is the best out of all of it, because we're going to get into it here in a little bit after we talk about the I guess you could say one of our affiliates. Well, not really our affiliates for us locally, but as a network, as BW Sports 1, we'll talk a little bit about AAA, since we're segueing from talking about the minor league fake officiating to the affiliate to the Pittsburgh Pirates, the other Pennsylvania team that none of us really care for.
I was going to say
Troy.
that. Yeah. I mean, in terms of, again, if you want to keep calling us traditionalists here, Pirates are one of the most storied franchises in all of baseball.
Yeah, they are.
So
they are. So far, they
haven't been relevant in like 25 years.
Yeah, beautiful ballpark though too.
Absolutely.
Best ballpark I've been to.
Yeah.
I've never been there. It's on my list. But so far, to start the year, the Indians, which, for those that are politically correct, not the Guardians, they are, 3-2 to start the year, playing against Omaha so far. Omaha, AAA affiliate to the Pittsburgh Pirates. We don't know who they are. Shout out to our bigwig here, Dan Stevens. He's our media guy for the Indianapolis Indians, and been giving us updates and stuff. And they actually have a former Philly that all three of us know in a terrible way, and Jared Eichhoff. And looks like
it's not even on the 40 man.
Yeah, but it looks like for the most part for them, their season-wise, they have a pretty stout roster. They just had a pitcher get called up to the big leagues. I might be wrong on how you pronounce his name, but it's Ronzi Contreras.
Mr. Contreras.
Yeah, relief pitcher.
Senor Contreras.
Yeah.
Hey. But
sorry.
We were talking a little bit earlier too. He, one of the number 5 prospect in the system for him.
Yeah.
Matt, you were saying? So I mean, definitely got, and in Indianapolis too has the number 1 guy, and we can get into him a little bit should we want, because I think they're just holding him down there to gain that extra year of service time, which is BS. But Contreras, looking at his overall minor league stats, 1913 with 3.13 ERA. I'm not sure which levels he's split time between, but his picture right now on the website shows Altoona, so I'm going to assume the majority of these stats are AA. But over 300, just about over 300 innings pitched with 289 strikeouts. So kid could throw.
Yeah,
ain't no question in that.
And looks like their number 1 prospect's a second baseman, Nick Gonzalez. He's in AA right now. Hopefully we'll see him up soon, Altoona. So we might actually get a chance to see him if he's still down, and we all get to go see the Harrisburg Senators play anytime in the near future here.
Oh yeah, they're in the same division, so they're there all the time.
Yeah.
The one to keep an eye on though for Indy is O'Neal Cruz. I believe that's the guy they're holding it down, who could have made opening day but decided to gain the extra year of service time.
Yeah, the shortstop for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if this is listed here, if he's a shortstop at 6'7",
yeah, I saw that too.
What? Yeah,
I saw it too. And actually, they have a second top 30 prospect in their system up in the Pirates, and that's that Miguel Yahir, I guess his name is. He's a relief pitcher, and there's a third, Diego Castillo. He's their 21st. He is their Scott Kingery for us, Mr. Versatile in the infield, and he's up in the majors too. So looks like
he stays there a little bit longer.
Yeah, so it looks like in general Indianapolis has a pretty decent team this year. So
I would expect to see a lot of players going to and from the majors, right? With the Pirates roster, they're going to be bringing guys up a lot, right? So there's going to be a two-way highway very regularly, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And then the nice thing too, I'm not sure how close Indianapolis is to Pittsburgh at all, but at least Pittsburgh's got Altoona and Indy right there that they can get guys in pretty quick if they need them.
Right.
Yeah.
But looking down through here, I mean, obviously we've talked about how bad the Pirates have been with spending money. Like John said,
They signed Brian Hayes to an extension.
yeah, I mean that was a shock to all of us, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I think that was their largest contract they signed in recent history too.
That might be the largest
Mm-hmm.
contract that they've ever signed.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
And the only other one that I think might rival it was Jason Bay.
Oof, that's a
Yeah,
name drop.
let me look that one up here real quick.
But no, in general, like John said, though, there should be a lot of opportunities for the guys from Indianapolis to make it to the big show. So we'll keep an eye on that for this year. Thanks to Dan for getting us all the media stuff for them. We are working on some stuff here for the future for some other teams. So we'll try and touch a little bit into minors. I know there's a lot of people watching from our area that are Harrisburg Senators fans and Reading Phillies and Altoona Curve because Pittsburgh and whatnot. So, well, we just wanted to touch a little bit there on the Indians because it's kind of exciting to see a team like that. Just obviously these kids are going to get a great opportunity this year.
And some glory thing too about the minor leagues, and we're lucky enough to have the Senators in Harrisburg. We've seen guys come through the Expos national system like Ryan Zimmerman. I remember seeing Cliff Floyd and Milton Bradley, Vlad Sr.
Yeah.
Strasburg, Drew Storen, Bryce Harper. I mean, the minor leagues are great to watch guys come up through, and even Castellanos. I believe I even saw Castellanos when he was with the Tigers AA team roll through Harrisburg. So if you're by a local minor league team, look at the schedule, look at the roster, and go see the future stars of tomorrow. It's one of the best things you can do and support your local team.
So we're gonna get into the big one this week. One we've all been waiting for. Let me pull up this here so we can all take a look at this. Our opening weekend roundup so far.
And I'm going to apologize if you hear my dog barking at the random person walking across the street.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, look at the standings. Some big surprises in the standings right now. Some aren't too big of a surprise. Like the Mets being 3-0 right now is not really a surprise with the roster that they put together. But look at the West. Nobody winless to start the season so far. And I know we're only 2 games in opening weekend, but what's your guys' I'll start with John on this one. So far, other games you've watched, obviously you've watched the Phillies, or any highlights you've seen. What stood out to you so far in opening weekend?
Well, it's early still. I don't know. I thought the Red Sox would take at least a game from the Yankees so far. I still think they'll take one. We'll get to that later, but I think they'll take one in that series. I don't know. I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of surprises, really. Nationals were, probably going to be bad, right? Pirates were going to be bad. Athletics are bad, So I wouldn't say there's huge surprises necessarily, but I didn't expect the Red Sox to go 0-2, I guess, if you were to ask me just one thing in particular.
Yeah, the Red Sox there met the man, the myth, the legend, Giancarlo Stanton. He's on pace to hit 162 home runs this year. Dude's just launching them out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
But if I'm just going to steal the limelight here because I love to chat and hear my own voice, I believe the East right now is kind of how we expected it to be. The 3 teams are, where we expect them to be. The NL West is pretty interesting. They're just going to beat up on each other. And I was lucky enough to get home in time last night to watch the Rockies come back and beat the Dodgers there late with Connor Joe. Look him up. He's got the best haircut in Major League Baseball right now. He's rocking that 93 Phillies mullet. Hits a go-ahead home run in the 8th and come on into the 9th, and guy shuts the Dodgers down. So the West is looking like they're going to beat up on each other this year.
So a little bit on what I've seen so far in the weekend, and I know we want to talk about it so bad. What is up with the fights already to start the season? We had McCutchen get hit by a ball, and bench is clear on that. We had in the Mets series, 4 guys get hit so far in the Mets opening weekend, and cleared the benches.
Yeah, but that one though with the Mets, look where the catcher was setting up. He was trying to go up and in on that pitch, just got away. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Philly fan. That pitch legitimately looked like it got away. Whereas if you look at the Andrew McCutchen one, and McCutchen even said in a press conference where if you're going to hit a guy, don't throw 2 pitches away and then come in, because then you're trying to hurt the guy. If you want to plunk the guy, aim right at the hip, hit him on the first pitch and move on. Don't go head hunting. Don't hit a guy in the ribs, because McCutchen even alluded to it a few years ago when he was on the Pirates. They were playing a game against the Diamondbacks, and pitch got away up and in, and I think it broke Goldschmidt's hand at the time, and McCutchen comes up the next inning, and guy throws a pitch away, and then tries to come inside and hits McCutchen in the ribs, and then he breaks McCutchen's rib. So if you're going to plunk a guy, do it on the first pitch. Don't be a wuss about it and play around. If you're going to hit the guy, hit the guy.
John, my question to you is, are we going to see a lot more of this? Are we going to see a lot more guys not taking any BS from anybody? If they get hit by a pitch, it's game on.
I think so. I mean, look where the game's going. We have a lot of these, home runs where they're flipping the bat and they're staring people down and whatnot. So I think there's definitely more attitude coming from players, whether it be good or bad. I mean, it's like, it's like NASCAR where they had like the boys will be boys, let them go at it kind of thing,
It's not that NASCAR fight was pathetic. The guy didn't even take his helmet off.
Well, I mean, in general, back 10 years ago when they basically said,
with the boys,
exactly, just let them go. So the MLB hasn't done anything like that per se, but you can definitely feel the trend going towards a little bit more.
And I had to refresh myself here a little bit on the McCutchen one too. Pointed out in the comments, he was thrown at twice, so they missed the first one and then they plunk him. So
I want to point out,
if you're going to hit the guy, throw him in, and once if you miss, move on.
I want to point out I made a grammatical error and I forgot to change it. On the AL East or AL West, I have the Athletics as 2-0 and they're not.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but
whatever. So ignore that.
We all know that pretty well watching those games.
I was trying to do that this morning and rushed to get it done before we got on here. So
it's all good.
I'm with you guys though. That NL West looks pretty interesting. They're all beating up on each other.
How about that Bears walk off?
That's the call of the week right there.
And you know what? I think it was on National Beer Day.
Yeah.
National Beer Day.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit about the replay review, and you said about the game changer. What the Tigers walk off with the review? I mean, when I saw that, so I watched the replay of it on ESPN or MLB or whatever before they slowed it down, and it didn't look like the call was gonna go in the Tigers' favor. That's for sure. Man, great opening weekend so far. I know we still got a lot of Sunday games left. As you see at the bottom, there's the rest of the Sunday slate that's coming up today. I've been pretty excited about how this weekend has gone so far for opening weekend, and I'm gonna give a shout out to some of our other counterparts here. The Reds taking a run from the Braves was a big surprise. Opening night for them too. At that, they stole the first game against the Braves and have lost the other one since, but didn't see that one coming.
Yeah,
for how bad they are.
That's why we play 162.
Yeah, my partner in crime back here doesn't agree with me right now.
Well, at least my partner in crime decided to stop barking at the bystander innocently walking across the street in a threatening manner.
Yeah. Another big surprise to me is right now is the Rangers at 0-2, and I'll get into that later because when we get to our picks, how much money did they spend for that infield, and they're sitting here 0-2. Yeah,
$500 million.
$500 million, and they're sitting 0-2 right now. And it's been a struggle.
It's that oil money.
Yeah, borrowed some of that from Uncle Jerry, I guess.
Some of
or the Bushes.
Some of that stupid money right there.
Yeah.
They'll bounce back though. I think they will.
But the team that spent money though, other than the Mets and the Phillies per se, nobody's really stood out as being like that wow factor this weekend. I mean, the Rockies spent all that money for Chris Bryant. They're sitting 1-1. Cardinals really didn't spend that much money, and they're at the top of the Central right now. Look at the Cubs.
The Cardinals always just find a way to win. They've got guys among guys in the minor leagues they can call up at any time, and they'll just come up and produce. Mm-hmm. They're lucky in that regard. Nice one here too. I don't know if you saw the defensive play for the Royals with Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
snagging that backhand and throwing out the runner at home just to have Alvarado Mondesi come back up and walk it off for him.
Who picked him as Rookie of the Year?
You did.
I did. Just saying.
It's all right, John. We're 2 games in. You got plenty of time for Tolkeson to start raking.
To your defense, though, for that, John, though, that's not a bad pick to take because Bobby Witt Jr. is showing
the number one prospect.
Yeah, and he earned that right to be in the show. Just because you're the number one prospect doesn't mean you're going to be right in the show right away. You know, like
right.
Look at Stott. Stott's been one of our top prospects for however many years now, and he finally got his chance. So.
And he's earned his keep so far too.
Right. And I get it 2 games in, but Witt's showing that he deserves to be in the show. So you weren't really far off on that.
One of the best breakdowns too that I saw a couple weeks ago was Mike Trout's swing lined up with Witt's, and they're exact carbon copies of each other.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Yeah,
but his fielding ability is just like unreal.
Is he a natural third baseman too?
Oh. Not sure on that, to be honest with you.
I mean, because unless they're doing what the Phillies are doing with Stott, and they want to have the ultimate utility, versatile player, which I don't agree with, play that his natural position. But if third isn't his natural position for that backhand and throw home that he made, that was a really good play for a non-third baseman.
Well, let's talk about that for a little bit, or for a second, because we got a little bit of time here. We talked last week about our Rookie of the Year picks and whatnot. So, opening weekend, who has stood out to you as one of the top rookies this year? I mean, we were talking about Witt, we're talking about Stott, but that kid up in Seattle, I can't think of his name.
Rodriguez.
Yeah,
he just got his first hit the other day, and when roped a double into left center, and then JP Crawford comes up, grounds out the third, all in the bottom.
JP Crawford.
I'm trying to think. I just watched the highlight this morning. Rodriguez leads off with a double. JP Crawford with a productive out moves him to third, and then Frazier comes up for Seattle, hits a double, drives in Rodriguez to tie the game, and then the very next hitter ropes a single, and Frazier roped the single, and then either way, the point I'm getting at is Rodriguez started the comeback with his first hit.
Yeah.
So he'll be pretty good. I'm looking up here. I'm trying to think. Hunter Green should be having his start coming up here.
I think he starts today, but I mean, Spencer Torkelson in Detroit he made his major league debut this weekend too.
Let's see how he's doing.
He's 0 for right now.
0 for 6.
Yeah.
But he's got to walk in there somewhere because he's got a 250 OBP.
He's got 2 walks and 4 strikeouts.
Okay, there we go. It's all right. Take some time to adjust.
Take
some time to adjust. Miguel Cabrera's got him under his wing, so we're good. You'll be good there.
So, John, I'll throw it to you. Since you are a big Bobby Witt Jr. fan, apparently, because he's your Rookie of the Year. 2 games in for him, 3 games in for him. What has stood out to you so far? Is it his fielding, his batting? What's impressed you with the unanimous number 1 prospect in baseball this year?
So I talked about his bat when I picked him initially, and he's got a heck of a bat for sure. But I'd say the fielding at this point, right? We just talked about the play he had. So that was definitely what stood out to me. I wouldn't say it was unexpected necessarily, but, it was not what I was looking for him to showcase. And so far, so good. I would also touch on the fact that, we talked about Stott a little bit. I mean, he's not necessarily anybody's pick for Rookie of the Year. I wouldn't think, and I don't think he will be. But he's putting together a solid campaign so far. It's the timely hits, a couple RBIs, I think, at least 1, maybe 2. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But pretty solid so far, I'd say.
Yeah, I'll touch a little bit on Stott because I got nothing to lose. I believe I took, if I remember, I think I took Hunter Green as Rookie of the Year because of his pitching ability. So. Stott's 2 for 4, 1 RBI, 1 strikeout, but very productive at bats. So working the counts, making the pitchers have to earn their their way around him, but his ability to field even at third base, even though he's not a natural third baseman, he's a natural shortstop.
He's playing shortstop today.
Yeah, he did really well at third base. So that's going to throw a lot of question marks for them for coming down the road, because I believe Bohm's not playing today. Camargo is.
Camargo's at third.
Yeah, so that's going to throw a lot of flags if Stott struggles at shortstop and he does really good at third base. Is he going to be a natural third baseman then?
Yeah, but he had 2 or 3 balls hit right to him he didn't make a play on. And that's what sort of led to that downfall in the first game where Nola gave up that 3-run jack.
Yeah.
They gave away a couple base runners there, and one of them was a hard play for Stott. He had to dive off to his left, and it just kind of ricocheted off his glove. But I don't like guys who are shortstops like, oh, let's play him at second. Let's play him at short. Oh, we need an outfielder. Let's try him at center, because they did that with Scott Kingery. And Scott Kingery's not even on the 40-man roster right now. So
I mean, that massive contract that he got that he never even did anything for.
Well, that was,
it wasn't massive. It was big in terms of like
it was
arbitration eligible guy.
It was definitely massive for a guy of his ability.
It was for a guy.
Was it $20 million or something like that?
It was like it basically
4 years,
voided
$20 million.
It basically voided out all his arbitration years.
Yeah.
The Clintack was trying to strike while the iron was hot, because that's when Kingery had that 400 year in spring training. So he's like, let's just avoid paying him an arbitration and just give him, 10, 12 million a year for the next 5. And, that backfired.
I feel like it was like $20 million contract, though. I feel like it wasn't that big.
It voided out. It was, let me look it up here.
Yeah.
But I'll see if I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. The Padres did call up C.J. Abrams after they made that trade with, was it the White Sox, where they traded away the pitcher? So they brought him up, so that'll be interesting to see. I'm still on the Spencer Torkelson bandwagon just because I like right-handed hitting first baseman who drive the ball to the gap that wear number 20. Sounds a lot like somebody I know.
$24 million deal for Kingery.
Right. Yeah, you beat me to it.
I didn't think it was that huge. I mean, I guess it is in a relative sense, but
for a guy that's not even on a 40-man roster, I mean,
that's I mean, in hindsight, at the time, it felt good. I don't know.
It didn't feel good at the time.
Yeah.
It was a risk at the time, and that's meant Matt Clintack as a GM summed up in one signing.
Yeah. So
shock face.
Yeah, I forgot to add this to my list of things I was going to talk about, but big news in the Japanese baseball league, because I know we've talked about them with the 2-way hitters. Japanese phenom Roki Sasaki. I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong. 20-year-old pitcher. You ready for this? Tim, you're going to love this.
All right.
19 strikeout perfect game.
Was he playing against 12-year-olds?
No. He
strikes out 19 times as a team.
Apparently, whoever they were playing as,
depth analysis.
13 consecutive batters at one
what
point.
So-called professional team strikes out 19 times out of 27 outs? I mean, what was this guy's stuff like? Just dotting the corners? Was it moving? You got highlights for us?
Well, his fastball was topping around 100 miles per hour and has a fork ball that just was like massive break on it. Only threw 105 pitches in the game. Roki, Roki, and then Sasaki, Sasaki. The Nippon Professional Baseball. It's the first perfect game since 1994, the 16th in league history, and broke pretty much every record that they possibly could in that game. I don't even know what the final ended up being in that game. I just saw the headline here.
The first perfect game in Nippon Professional Baseball since 1994 and the 16th in history, according to the Japanese outlets.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, well. Good for you. I'm still trying to find video here.
We might not have any. But still, that's impressive, though. Kid, basically, he's 20 years old. I talked about it last week. The 2-way players. He might not be a 2-way player, but 19 strikeouts on 105 pitches.
That's pretty crazy. Oh, guess who his manager is?
Who?
He's a former Philly.
That narrows it down.
It actually does. He was good old Tadahito Iguchi.
Oh, name doesn't ring a bell for me.
Manager Tadahito Iguchi told reporters there are no quote-unquote doubts about his talent, and he also praised and his 18-year-old catcher. So it's a 20-year-old pitcher and an 18-year-old catcher combining for 19 strikeouts. So
send him to Philly.
Props to the pitcher for 19 strikeouts, but an 18-year-old catcher who can call a game like that, if he's the one calling the game, then I don't. These two better be a package deal wherever they go.
No, they definitely were using pitch comms on that one.
Or they just know how to call a game.
That. The other thing I was going to bring up, I didn't put a picture of it up. To me, it's ugly because of who it is. The Atlanta Braves World Series ring.
It's a beautiful ring.
I have a problem.
What? It opens up?
Yeah. Okay. Since Tampa Bay and their little shindig with their Super Bowl rings of, hey, let's take the top off and show the stadium. Now everybody has to do it. I think that's the dumbest thing in the world. I am so sorry. And then the whole Jock Peterson pearl on the side, dumb. I'm sorry, dumb. Nice looking ring.
But if you're dumb. on that team and you have a World Series ring, are you going to complain about how it looks? Yes. Are you going to be like, I don't want that? It's dumb.
Yes, he is, Tim. Obviously.
Yes.
He complains about everything.
Yeah.
Listen, if a major league team goes, here is a World Series ring, I will say thank you very much, and I'm going to take it. I'm not going to sit there and complain about it because, oh, hey, it opens up.
Let me see if I can get this up here once, boys. Yeah, dude. I mean,
share your screen.
No,
I'm saying that's how you could easily do it, is share your screen.
Or I can just do this. No, I'm telling you, dude, like that ring, I'm not a fan of it, but
I like it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
To each their own. I'm going to pull this up for everybody to see here. It's not letting me. Too many presentations.
Outside of you two, I cannot think of anybody who would turn down a World Series ring because it, quote, looks stupid.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'd turn it down.
You kind of did.
No, I did not. Play it back, Tim.
Well, we'll watch the replay.
Let me see here because it's right here on Twitter. So I can share my screen once, just still learning how to
close all your other tabs.
Elon Musk's Twitter.
Yeah, here, right there. Right there it is.
Yeah. It's a great looking ring.
That is a terrible looking ring.
That's a great ring. What are you talking about?
That's a terrible ring.
Well, you gonna complain about the 44 Emerald Cut diamonds to honor Hank Aaron, or
no? I like that concept is good, but the whole thing right here at the top left of the opening up and then
that is awesome. I mean, the quote's dumb.
All the home runs, awesome. All the home runs that they hit are like pearls or emeralds or rubies or whatever they are. Like, no,
what's wrong with that?
There's a lot wrong with it.
That's a great ring.
Does it say LED ring. Lights? LED lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I take it. I mean, it looks good, but like the opening up is just, I agree. Like that part of it's my least favorite part, especially with great. LED lights inside.
Thank you. Look, your dad. I'd sell it and design my own. That is stupid. Thank you.
I agree.
You know what?
2/3 of
World
this panel
Series
are
ring. Don't care.
2/3 of this panel is right, and your son is being stubborn.
I'm not being stubborn. I'm being realistic.
Even if that had a big old P in the middle for the Phillies, I'd be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry.
Awesome. It's not that bad, but it's not.
I mean, the quote's dumb.
Yeah,
the quote up there is dumb.
Yeah, the Braves are dumb too.
Well, yes, they are. But if I'm being presented that ring, then thank you very much. I will take my ring.
The ring itself.
And I'll sit there and I'll play with the little flappy. It opens up and shuts. I'll just sit there and play with it the whole time, and then it'll break.
Or you could sell it and take the cash.
Yeah,
I could sell it, but maybe I want to wear it around a little bit.
Apparently, you get it from your mother.
Whatever.
The ring itself, the ring itself is a gorgeous looking ring, but it's so stupid. Like, get the quote off of it. Stop making these rings with the opening top. I wonder how much.
Then why don't you start designing rings and selling them off?
I will
do it.
Listen, I agree. Just simplify it.
Yeah,
Dear
simple.
God,
simplify
it's
it, right?
beautiful.
It's not beautiful, Tim.
It's
but-
beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
All
love it.
right.
I
Agree to
love
disagree,
it.
boys.
Yeah, 1000%. We're gonna agree to disagree because no.
Can't go above 100 there.
Yeah, you can. You can go above 100 on that.
No, you can't.
Listen, I'm just saying, like,
I'm just going to get my little prod and I'm just going to start poking wherever I can to fire you up. That ring is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I'm not saying it's a bad looking ring.
Now
I
he's
think
just
it's
lying.
stupid. I think it's
Stop
stupid,
lying, Tim.
though. I just think it's stupid. The whole opening the top thing, like what that happened to just a plain old fucking diamond
Got
ring?
boring. It's boring.
Oh my god, you're
Let's be
boring.
innovative.
And there it is, the first F-bomb of the podcast in 2
It
episodes.
it wasn't for me.
I said you're boring. I didn't drop the F-bomb. I said, oh my god, you're boring.
Wow. Chris. Savage comment.
Let's throw that comment
My
up on
gosh.
Yeah.
Get me a hat. I'll put a hat on. You know what? I got one of those head shavers and I've been using it. It's actually awesome.
Oh my
but
god. Yeah.
Very shiny. Very
This
shiny.
This is broken down within the last 5 minutes. Taking shots at each other. Gets it from his mother. John's got a shiny bald head.
It's off the rails now.
We're
There's no turning
gone.
back.
There. See, perfect. Your dad said it. A ring that opens is like when you get out of a gumball machine.
Yeah, but the one out of the gumball machine isn't worth $1 million.
Oh, dude, I think
And it's not a World Series ring.
That's worth more than $1 million. I guarantee it.
Probably, depending who the player is.
Well,
Yeah.
the one that I showed was for
Albies.
Albies, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got Freeman's or Solaires, maybe. But
I mean,
Either
I saw some Twitter comments regarding that where people were like, "Oh, how can I get one?" Something's like $25,000 and it's all yours. I'm like, you're selling it short there, bud.
yeah, just a bit.
Actually, I think the Braves are selling Burger these days where it comes
Yeah, I read
with
about
a
that.
replica ring for like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks, but you can get a like actual like gold and diamond ring for 25 grand with the Burger.
There's been some like weird. We need to do like a off the wall maybe next week. Do a MLB ballpark food thing where I think
Yeah.
somebody put out like a $500 burger. Philly's doing some weird like cheesesteak meat combo thing. Baltimore's got like mac and cheese crab something like. There's some
that's like
wild stuff out there.
It's like
Or-
a Darren Revell thing right there, isn't it? He tweets that out all the time about different ballpark foods and prices and whatnot.
Something about
So-
that, yeah.
Or
But
maybe,
I mean, we're better than him, so
or maybe one of our great sponsors,
far more
in-
entertaining.
maybe one of our great sponsors in the What's Popping Corn Snacks can come up with a baseball themed corn snack for us.
There you go.
Boom. Let's
There
do
you
it.
go.
Hint, hint.
I'll snack on that during the show.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get into our last little bit of a segment. We got like a little bit of time here. We can discuss some of these picks a little bit. We're gonna call this the mybookie.ag MLB Sunday slate picks. These are our
This
picks.
is where I shut up because I know nothing about betting.
Yeah. Well,
True.
Yeah. So
I got one. bet
What's a
right.
money line? What's a run line?
I do not like losing money.
see there at the bottom, our picks are there. There's a picture of it. We were talking earlier about the Pirate Stadium being gorgeous. I like this view. We have other views of stuff too. We're going to use different stadiums throughout the season, so don't worry. There's going to be multiple pictures. So if you don't like this one, oh well.
Tough luck.
We'll start here with our money line picks for today. I took the Cardinals money line. John went with the Dodgers, and Quigs went with the Rangers. So, I mean, that's my sure picks. I don't know about. I mean, I'm confident in the Cardinals. I don't know about you two. Obviously,
I'm
you are.
confident in my other two. I'm not confident in this one. I just decided to
Well,
pick one.
Tim doesn't know what a money line is, so
Yeah. Yeah. So let me.
Hey, John, you're welcome for the $9 I won you on the over under.
let's,
$9.62, Tim.
Oh,
Yes,
excuse me. I forgot the
Yep.
62 cents.
that's a live bet over on the Phillies game, baby.
Yeah.
Cashed it.
So yesterday, while we were working on getting our stuff together for the show today, we had to explain to Tim what a money line was and basically
Listen,
what the run line was.
You could explain it to me 20 different ways in pure English. It's always going to sound like Russian to me. I know over under. That's it.
Yeah. So John, Dodgers today, they got at Colorado with Julio Urias versus Antonio Sensalea. Dodgers money line. You sure 100% positive why the Dodgers today?
The Dodgers are good. The Rockies
Obviously.
aren't bad.
That is flawless reason right there.
I mean,
Because
what do you want me to
good.
say? I think the Dodgers are a good team. I don't know. The ball's fly out of there in Colorado, so
Yeah.
I think they'll put up some runs too. I didn't take that as the over, but I think they'll put up some runs.
Yeah, well, none of us went over except for you in one game, so we'll get into that here in a second. Tim, you took the Rangers. I almost went with that same pick with you, so you're on the right track.
I mean, sometimes a blind squirrel finds a nut.
Yeah.
But the Rangers 0-2. You eventually got to break out of it.
Yeah.
They're not the Athletics, and hopefully they're not going to get swept.
And if it helps you any, your pitching matchup against the Blue Jays say is Spencer Howard versus Juan Jin-Ryu. So
Spencer Howard, blast from the past.
Change of scene should do him well. But Rangers. I'm trying to think, was it the opening day game or the second game they kind of blew a lead, but they should have a win on the board. But I think they'll be fine here. I believe the Tampa Bay Baltimore matchup for my under, I think it's Corey Kluber. So if he's on, I don't see that coming close to 8.5.
Well, I'll tell you the reason why I took St. Louis is they're playing Pittsburgh and Steven Matz is on the mound for St. Louis. So I think Matz is a very underrated pitcher. If he's on, he's on. But if he's off, he's off. So tonight might be a good day for him to go and be on. So lock in. If you like our picks that you see here, lock them in. We're going to go with the over-unders here. I took under 9.5 in the Boston Yankees game. John took under or over 8.5 in the Phillies A's, and Quigs took under 8.5 in Tampa Bay Baltimore. And I think we all know why that's under in that game because Baltimore is garbage.
Corey Kluber hasn't been the Cy Young winner he has the last few years. So he had that. He threw a no-hitter last year for the Yankees. So, when Kluber's on, and we can say this about any pitcher, if they're on, but I don't see Kluber getting back to the days of old.
Yeah, but it's Tampa Bay, Baltimore, so.
You could have two absolutely horrible pitching matchups. It can either be a 1-0 game or it could be a 12-13.
John,
you never know with bad pitching matchups.
John, I know you're looking forward to the Phillies hopefully having a breakout game of offense again today, like they did on opening day against the A's, huh?
Yeah, that and Eflin's not very good on the mound. So if they win, it's probably going to be another 9-7 game, I would imagine. It's going to be the story of the year for the Phillies. They're going to put up runs. They're going to give up runs, right? So they have to score more. I mean, it's how you win the game, obviously. But their bats are good, and their starters are I don't know. Okay, I guess.
At this point in the rotation, we're meh.
Yeah, we're meh, and their bullpen is, as usual, trash. So, I'm kind
of shocked it didn't light up Cole Irvin a little bit more.
Yeah, they got 4 runs. I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
That's 9.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what worried me of wanting to take the over and under in that game was because of what they were doing yesterday. I know you guys were confident with them lighting up Cole Irvin, but new same face, new place type deal. And for a little bit that I was able to pay attention, listen to the game, he sounded like he pitched a pretty decent game. So I took the under 9.5 for Boston, New York, only because that's big rivalry. So, both teams are going to come out. Pitchers are going to be fired up. 7:00 game on ESPN. So, don't know how much offense we're going to see in that game. I'd like to see home run after home run like the guy before, but good.
You should almost put a prop bet on that Boston New York game of if Stanton hits a homer again.
Thought about it. Well, see, hold on. We were trying to discuss prop bets, and you weren't even sure how to do them yet either. So we'll ease into those before we'll stick to the 3 that we have right now. We're having a little competition this year of our picks. No, dude, I'm the worst bettor, so I'm confident with these ones this week. When it comes to actually doing them, I go complete opposite of what I talk about. But we'll go into these run line picks, and then what these are is, if you don't know the run lines, Tim,
Yeah.
plus minus. If, like, for example, I took Texas at +1.5, they have to lose by less than 1 run. Well, basically 1 run is what they have to lose by for me to win that. Same with the Red Sox, and you have the Braves winning it by 4. So that's -1.5. We didn't put that on there, but for future reference, for those that are watching.
Well, actually, he took a. I mean, he
Wouldn't
took
be
those
that be
odds up,
minus
right?
4.5?
So,
Yeah.
well, he didn't take the actual run line. He took like a prop.
Yeah, the prop bet on that. But
yeah,
but if they win, I think the run line for that was them at -1.5.
I might as well be Bert
so,
Kreischer trying to
yeah.
understand Russian right now.
pretty much every run line is plus or minus 1.5.
Yeah.
Actually, literally, it is.
Well, for the opening weekend, it was.
Yeah.
It does change a lot during the season, and then and if you do live bets, you can pick different run lines for that too. So the plus or the win by 4 is actually a good pick, Tim. I'll give you that one. That's pretty good on that one.
Yeah, I talk about it more, but I just was like, yeah, let's have the Braves win by 4.
Well, speaking of bets, if you are looking at getting yourself involved into some gambling this weekend, check out mybookie.ag. Use promo code BWSPORTS1 or text BWSPORTS1 to, I forget what the number is on the top of my head, for $60 in bets. I think up to $1,000. I gotta see here. We have it there on the bottom.
Well, you're getting it confused. I think there is the text is for Doc Sports Picks.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The promo code is for mybookie.ag.
Yeah.
And bet responsibly.
Bet responsibly. But Docs is part of Doc Sports Picks. Text BW Sports to 29022 for your free $60 in
If
picks.
you or someone in your family has a gambling problem, please contact
mybookie.ag, promo code BWSPORTS1 for 100% sign up bonus up to $1,000. Please be responsible when betting, and don't say that we encourage you to do it.
We do not condone taking Tim's picks because Tim has no idea what he's talking about.
But check them out.
Our new segment's called Fade Tim.
Yeah.
How to get Tim to shut up.
But check them out. Some great stuff on mybookie.ag. Definitely worth looking at. They do have prop bets on there that we were talking about. They have anything from baseball to football to hockey to racing to everything that's on there. So please sign up. And like we said, up to $1,000, 100% match using
including
promo code.
Russian table tennis.
Yes.
Yes. Do we have the slap contest in there? Can we bet on the guys who slap each other in the face?
We could. Also, check out our website here, BW Sports 1. Because
segue.
Yeah. I'm gonna slap Tim off of the screen here for a second. No, BWSports1.com. We actually have a blog. Yours truly has a blog post about what it's like, why baseball is back, and why being a fan is frustrating. And I'm sure these two eventually are gonna get involved in this and get some stuff posted too. Pretty cool. I'd like to type out the website on the Facebook page, but for whatever reason, it doesn't let me. So right there at the bottom. Yeah, so check it out on the bottom there, BWSports1.com.
Do it.
Go ahead, John.
Do it.
John, you do it and see if you get banned.
What's that?
Go ahead, type out BWSports1.com on Facebook and hit enter, see if you get Facebook jail.
Oh. Why?
I mean, we're not. Why?
I don't get that. What, they're censoring that website?
Apparently, we were trying to figure. We don't know.
It's a harmless freaking sports website.
It's no different.
Well, apparently there's some underlying issues where
the big tech oligarchs are at it again.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
But it's nothing bad. I mean, it's a great website. It's got all of our.
It's got all of our blog.
Yeah. It's got all of our great sponsors on there. Eventually,
we're clearly colluding with the Russians to rig the next election.
Stuff on there about mental health and awareness. We got the blog. You can shop BW Sports 1. So if you want some of that BW Sports sportswear, eventually we'll have some stuff on there for you.
Ooh, we should get a hat.
Stuff from our sponsors of Elite
Apparently,
Performance.
I need a hat.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
according to Chris.
We should get some just a bit outside hats. We'll have to. No.
I got too many hats.
Wait.
I got too many hats.
Well, you only wear one or two, so
I know because I have too many of them. So I
I'll
just
start breaking them out.
No, because they're all old.
And
Don't know if they're gonna fit my fat head. On that note,
I'm not going to push that one any further.
yeah. Well, John, do you have anything you want to end this week's show with?
It's early in the season, but it's a good season so far. We'll be tuning into a lot of games this week. We'll probably all lose all of our bets, I would assume.
I'm fully counting on it.
But
I'm going to go 0 for the season.
Yeah, it's good, man. Baseball's back. It's a good time of year. We're excited for a good season.
Timothy, to you.
Bet responsibly.
Yeah.
From the guy who doesn't bet responsibly.
Bet responsibly. Don't listen to Tim's bets.
Yeah, Tim.
don't listen to me. I mean, I don't know if I'd listen much to John either, knowing his track record. But...
No.
Listen, only one of us here won a bet this week, so
yeah. After I told you to do it.
Well, you didn't bet it. I did.
Yeah. What did you do? Actually, don't answer that. What did you do at $9? Probably went to McDonald's and scored some dinner.
Spicy nuggets, man. Yes, indeed.
All spicy nuggets.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
What, the spicy nuggets or the free $9?
Yes, both. Free $9 for some free spicy nugs, duh.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to another great show. This really turned into a train wreck towards the end when we got into the betting talks. It's just going to be more fun the rest of the time out. So thanks, guys, for joining us or joining me
what
again.
What hilarity will ensue? Find out next week. Oh.
Can you imagine if we were all drunk trying to do this? Like we would be.
Listen, I'm not drinking at 11 in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
But
I'll drink water.
On that note, a live show could be pretty fun at one point. Not 11 o'clock on a Sunday, but I mean maybe 7 o'clock on a Saturday.
I mean, we can make that happen. We could make that happen.
That'll be
watching baseball, drinking, and
live reactions.
Yeah, we could. We just can't show the game because of copyright. So.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
I'll be back Tuesday, hopefully, with another episode of Checkers and Wreckers. Check that out.
Unless this show got you fired.
I doubt that. Check out some of our other shows. Super Kicking It with Steven. It's our wrestling show. We got the Combat Zone, hosted, I believe, by Dan DeLion Stevens. It's all about UFC, bare knuckle fight club, and all sorts of other combat sports. So check that out. And the state of basketball, I think we'll be back sometime here soon because we have basketball playoffs coming out. So if you haven't given us a like and a follow, give all of us a like, a follow, support our sponsors, and we'll see you all next week.
Until then.
Yeah. See you, gents.